40 Creek Master's Cut Cask Strength Whiskey. What's this like, and should it be on your shelf? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. What it is, my whiskey people, Mark here from Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you 40 Creek Master's Cut. This is cask strength Canadian whiskey, and it's 48.4%, no, 48.5% ABV. Let's go ahead and get that poured. Now, I have to fully disclose this was from 40 Creek themselves. Thank you very much. And we'll pour a nice healthy pour since I can. This is not available in Canada at time of filming. However, it's going on sale tomorrow. So hopefully you've picked some up and you can try it along with me if you're here in Manitoba. And elsewhere in Canada, it's already available. So let me know your thoughts. Share your tasting notes and tell me what you think of this 40 Creek cask strength called Master's Cut. So some very interesting things about this is 48.5% ABV and it's cask strength. So you're wondering, Mark, how does that compute? And it does because, and this just blows my mind, their fill strength is, get this, 44%. Yeah, 44% is the fill strength at 40 Creek. And in the warehouse, it seems to be a very environment that's very conducive to water evaporating. So there you go. That's how the proof goes up. So pretty neat. So that's beyond barrel fill strength. So very cool. So we should check out the color of this. Keep in mind this may have some color added. And it is for sure chill filtered. I would imagine it might not be. I don't think it says here on the bottle. This unapologetically bold pot-stilled whiskey is bottled straight from the barrel at cask strength. And no, there's nothing about chill filtration, so I would assume that it is. Again, it might not be, but we'll have to just assume that. We'll check the legs out together. Hopefully I don't spill this. Nope. All right, so what do we see for legs? This is exactly the extremely viscous side of the alcohol water mixture. And as it's, it's just showing here, it's just very, very slow to trickle down. So we should expect a very rich mouth coating, thick type of mouthfeel here. And if memory serves, that is the case. All right, so let's get into the nosing. And you should check out the interview I had with Bill Ashburn. That was, well, for me, it was last week. For you, it might be 2 weeks ago by the time I get this edited and whatnot. So check it out. We tried Master's Cut. We tried Copper Pot Reserve. We tried Double Barrel Reserve. We tried their basic bottle. I forget the name of it now. Special something. And we also tried Foxheart, which has a little bit of, what was it now? 12-year-old rum added, which is just, again, mind blown that you would add expensive rum like that. All right, so anyway, the nose. It's got like a crispy crunch nose. There's a little bit of peanut. There's a little bit of nuttiness to it. There's a little bit of toffee. Toffee nut would be a really good descriptor here. Some peanut brittle, but where the peanut content is a little bit lower and the brittle content is higher. That made no sense. Classic vanillas, mostly that toffee though, a little bit of the nuttiness. and a touch of banana flambe, and a little bit of poached pear. All right, on to the palate. Cheers, folks. Big cheers to 40 Creek. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. And that was a great time I had with Bill Ashburn. Cheers. The first thing you get is this rush of toffee sweetness. And then, kapow, the rye. The rye just bang, hits you. And the palate, the finish, is actually quite dominated by rye. And it is mouth coating, astringent, but yeah, really coats the mouth well. Mouthfeel is on spot here. More on the palate here. We've got that nuttiness, we've got the toffee. The banana flambe is still there, as well as are the poached pears. The rye spice, it's minty, it's peppery, and it really crescendos. And it carries deep into the finish, really builds for the first little bit of the finish before finally, after about 20 seconds, you finally start to recover a little bit. And a little bit more of the toffees, caramel, the rye, greenness, mintiness, pepper, finishing out there for the finish. One more taste. Some butter ripple here. Ice cream. Nice. Let's add some water. I'm going to add a healthy amount of water. That was about a teaspoon. Now, I just reviewed the Kavalan Solus Madeira. Check that out if you can. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a link right over here you can click, and then hit the bell as well so that you're notified of future Whiskey Whistles. And if you're enjoying Whiskey Whistle and you're liking what's happening here, you're enjoying the flow, check me out on Patreon. Support the channel and join the Whiskey Whistle crew. Patreon.com/Whiskey Whistle. There's links in the description below as well if you need. For the patrons, they get their name in the credits at the end of each video. They also get first chance to watch the new Whiskey Whistle videos. And last but not least, they do get a Whiskey Whistle glass at a certain threshold, which is about $3 or $4. Depending on what package you start with, you'll hit that either within the first month or it'll take you a few months. But I was going to say, so the Madeira was very kind of like tartness, the astringency, producing a little bit of sweat, and I'm getting this again with this master's cut. So with water, you lose a little bit of that really neat nuttiness, which, by the way, is totally part of the 40 Creek signature. And you get some more bright golden raisins, some banana marshmallows or whatever they're called. Some just like scratch and sniff juicy fruit candy, scratch and sniff kind. And then the tiny little bit of nuttiness is a little bit in the background, but it's still there. You get a bit of rye also on the nose. So rye, minty, kind of peppery. Okay, on to the palate with water. This is, again, 40 Creek Master's Keep, and I hope you're having a great time watching. Again, leave comments if you're following along and you're enjoying your Master's Cut with me. Cheers. Just a big, huge butter ripple bowl of delicious ice cream, drizzled with more butter ripple if you can do that. The rye has moved a little bit backwards into the back seat. The toffee-like, slightly salty, ice creamy flavors coming to the foreground. It's creamy. Very, very sweet. It's a sipper's delight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Master's Cut makes the short list for the Canadian what's the award called? Sippin' Whiskey of the Year or whatever. And I dare say, with water, this reminds me a lot of some of the better Crown Royal products, like, for example, Special Reserve. Delicious. The finish, a little bit less dominated by the rye and a little bit more dominated by, you guessed it, that buttery ripple, a little bit of some green banana. Then, boy, like now the dryness, the astringency is really crescendoing. And then the sweetness trails off. Nice little bit of candied ginger at the back end. So enjoyable, really nice. Time to get on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score then for 40 Creek Master's Cut. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 88 out of 100. You heard it, 88 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for 40 Creek Master's Cut. And deserves a little Canadian whiskey hug here. Nice, nice. And I think this is going to be a big hit. I already know that it is. And I think they're probably going to release that again, hopefully a 2022 edition, etc. And I think they can have fun with just playing around with things a little bit, picking the casks that they want to put in, and making it fresh every year. Of course, I'd love higher ABV, but really this is about the highest it gets because, again, they're starting from a 44% barrel fill proof. Final taste for me tonight. Delicious. Well, I really do hope you enjoyed that. Again, my name is Mark. You're watching Whiskey Whistle. Subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Patreon. And also check me out on other social media like TikTok, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All of that is at Whiskey Whistle. Super easy, right? And comments, leave them in the comments below. If you want to send me an email to find out more information, maybe you want to join the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, markswhiskywhistle@gmail.com will get you there. Hope to hear from you. Take care, folks. Bye now.